1. Introduction. My name is Violet. I was 24 years old. I lived in the big city of London. I lived with my mother. My parents were not together. They divorced when I was a young girl. Because of this, I had not seen my father's family for many years. It was a very long time. I did not know them well. One day, my father called me. He lived in a small town in the countryside. He asked me to come and visit him. He wanted me to stay for the summer months. I thought about it. I was not sure if I wanted to go. I liked my life in London, but I also felt something inside me. It was a feeling that said I should go. So I said yes to my father. This decision changed my life. That summer was very important. It changed everything for me. I packed my bags. I traveled a long way from London. The train went through green fields and past small villages. It was very different from the city. Finally, I arrived at my father's house. It was a big old house in the middle of the countryside. Many trees were around it. When I stepped out of the car, many people were there. They were my father's family. They were my aunts, uncles, and cousins. I had not seen most of them since I was a child. I remembered only a few faces. Everyone was happy to see me. They gave me hugs and smiles. Then I saw him. One person stood out. His name was Marcus. He was my cousin. He was the son of my father's brother. Marcus was tall. He had dark hair. His eyes were a deep green color. They seemed to look at everything very carefully. He was quiet, but his eyes were strong. When I saw Marcus, I felt a strange thing in my heart. It was a feeling I did not understand. My heart beat a little faster. It was a new and strong feeling. I tried to tell myself it was nothing. He was just my cousin. I had just arrived. Maybe I was tired from the long trip, but I knew it was more than that. I felt a connection to him right away. This feeling was new and strong. It was the start of a very special summer. I did not know it then, but this summer would stay with me forever. 2. A summer together. The old summer house was a new place for me. Every morning felt fresh and full of quiet life. We often ate breakfast together in the garden. The sun was warm and birds sang. Marcus usually sat across from me. Sometimes he read a book. Other times he worked on a small part from his car. He was a quiet person. He did not speak many words, but when he did, I always listened carefully. His voice was soft and kind. Soon, Marcus and I began to spend our days together. He showed me many of his favorite places. We walked to the river that ran behind the house. The water moved slowly, and trees made a cool shade. He knew a secret path through the forest. It was a beautiful place, very green and peaceful. We also went to a small hill where the sunsets were amazing. The sky would turn bright orange and pink. During these times, we talked a lot. We spoke about our dreams for the future. We shared our feelings about our families and our past. We even talked about difficult things, like sadness, and what it meant to be truly free. As we spent more hours together, I started to forget that we were cousins. It felt like we were just two people finding a deep connection. I felt truly alive when I was with him. My heart felt happy and light. Slowly, I began to understand a new feeling inside me. It was more than just liking him. I realized I was falling for Marcus. This feeling was strong, and it grew each day. I knew it might be wrong, but I could not stop it. My thoughts were always with him. One evening, the whole family sat together for dinner. There was a lot of talking and laughter. I was sitting on one side of the long table. Marcus was on the other side. Our eyes met across the table. He looked at me, and then he gave a small, gentle smile. My heart started to beat very fast. It felt like it was jumping in my chest. I almost could not breathe. In that moment, everything else in the room disappeared. It was only Marcus and me. The feeling was powerful, stronger than anything I had ever felt before. I knew then that this summer would be different. It was a summer that would change my life. 3. A secret starts. Marcus lived in a small guest house. It was separate from the big house where I stayed. One evening, the weather changed quickly. It started to rain very hard. The wind blew strongly against the windows. Soon, the electricity went out. All the lights in both houses stopped working. It became very dark. Everyone in the main house stayed inside. They lit candles to see. My mother told me to stay warm, but I worried about Marcus. Was he okay alone in his guest house during the storm? I decided to go and check on him. I went outside into the heavy rain. Cold drops hit my face. The strong wind pushed me. I quickly went to his guest house door and knocked softly. Marcus opened the door. He looked surprised to see me in the rain. His hair was wet. He had a small, kind smile. He asked me to come inside. The guest house was also dark. He had a small lamp, but its light was not very bright. We sat down on a small sofa. We heard the loud rain hitting the roof. The wind howled outside. We started to talk. It was always easy to talk to Marcus. We usually had many things to say, but this night felt different. The darkness and the storm made us feel brave. We talked about our true feelings for the first time. Marcus spoke first. He said he always felt different when I was near him. He said I made him feel happy. He told me he thought about me a lot. My heart beat fast. I felt warm inside, even though the room was cool. I then told him I felt the same way. I told him I liked being with him. I told him I thought about him all the time too. We looked at each other in the dim light. We did not kiss that night. But we both knew something important had happened between us. The air around us was full of unspoken feelings. We understood each other perfectly without many words. When the rain slowed down, I knew I had to go back to the main house. I stood up. Marcus walked with me to the door. We did not say goodbye with words. We just looked at each other one more time. Then I left his guest house and walked back through the wet garden. The lights in the main house were still out, but I felt a new light inside my heart. It was a secret light. Marcus and I now shared a secret. This secret was only for us. It was a very special secret. It made me feel excited and a little scared. I knew our summer would never be the same after this night. Our lives would not be the same. This secret was just beginning for a family party. The next day, I tried to avoid Marcus. It was impossible. Our eyes met every time we were in the same room. I felt strange. My heart beat fast when he was near. My aunt noticed my nervousness. She looked at me closely. "Are you okay, Violet?" she asked with a kind voice. I said yes, but my heart was a mess inside me. It was hard to hide my feelings. I thought everyone could see them. That weekend, a big family gathering happened at the house. Many people came. Uncles, aunts, cousins, and grandparents arrived. The house was full of laughter and loud talking. Food was everywhere, and music played softly. Marcus stayed close to me throughout the evening. He did not leave my side. We talked a little, but mostly we just felt each other's presence. There was a special quiet between us. Later, the music became louder and people began to dance. Marcus asked me to dance. I said yes. My hand went into his. When we danced together, I felt his hand on my back. The world seemed to stop for a moment. It was only us. I knew someone could see us, but I did not care anymore. For the first time, I did not want to think about what was right or wrong. I only wanted to be there in his arms, feeling his warmth. The music played on, but I heard nothing but my own heart. Later that night, the party slowly ended. Guests started to leave. Marcus and I found a moment to be alone. We met secretly in the garden. The moon was bright. Its light touched his face, making it soft. The air was cool, but I felt warm inside. He looked at me with his deep green eyes. His voice was quiet. "Violet," he said, "I don't know how to stop thinking about you." My heart jumped. I knew this moment was important. I whispered back, "Don't." It was a single word, but it meant everything. It was the first time we said our feelings out loud to each other. The secret was not just in our hearts now. It was in the air between us. We stood there for a long time, not moving, just feeling. The night was silent, only the sounds of crickets could be heard. We knew things were changing, moving faster than we expected. This party, this dance, this secret garden talk all made our bond stronger. We understood that our feelings were real and deep. It was a dangerous feeling, but it was also beautiful. We did not know what would happen next, but we were together in this moment. The stars watched us from above, silent witnesses to our growing love. 5. People talk. The small town was not like London. Everyone knew everyone, and everyone watched everyone. Soon, people started to talk. They whispered about Marcus and me. They said we spent too much time together, that we were too close. I felt their eyes on us when we walked in the village. It made me nervous. My aunt started to look at me differently. She often watched Marcus and me. Her eyes were full of questions. My father also seemed worried. He did not say much, but his face showed his thoughts. The happy summer feeling started to change. A heavy cloud appeared over our secret. One evening, my father called me to the living room. He sat down and looked at me. His voice was soft but serious. "Violet," he said, "is there something happening between you and Marcus?" My heart beat fast. I knew I had to lie. I wanted to protect our secret and Marcus. "No, father," I said, but my voice broke a little. My father looked at me for a long moment. He did not ask more questions, but I knew he did not believe me. Marcus knew about the rumors too. He saw the looks and heard the whispers. He worried about me and our family. He came to me one afternoon. His face was sad. "I think I should leave for a while," he said. "It will help things calm down." I did not want him to go. My eyes filled with tears, but I understood. He wanted to protect us, even if it meant being apart. His eyes showed his pain. He did not want to leave either. That night, we met by the river, our special place. It was our last meeting for a long time. The air was cold and the stars were bright. We did not say much. We just held hands. His hands were warm even in the cold air. He promised he would come back when everything was better. He said he would not forget me. I looked at his face, trying to remember every detail. When he finally walked away into the dark, I could not stop the tears. I cried silently, standing alone by the river, feeling the cold air and a deep sadness. The summer, which had been so full of joy, now felt empty. 6. A letter comes. The weeks after Marcus left were long and quiet. The big summer house felt very different. It was no longer full of laughter and happy sounds. Now, it was just silence. I missed Marcus every day. I missed his quiet smile, his deep green eyes, and the way he talked about the forest. I spent most of my time alone. I walked by the river where we used to talk. I sat on the small hill where we watched the sunsets. Everything reminded me of him. I looked at the old swing in the garden, and I could almost hear his voice. The house felt empty, and so did my heart. I tried to read books, but I could not focus. I tried to help my father, but my mind was always somewhere else. I thought about Marcus and wondered where he was. Was he thinking about me too? Every morning, I walked to the mailbox. I hoped to find something from him. Day after day, it was empty. I started to lose hope. Maybe he had forgotten me. Maybe our secret summer was just a dream. Then, one sunny morning, something was there. A white envelope. My name was on it, written in a hand I knew well. My heart started to beat very fast. It was from Marcus. I took the letter inside, my hands shaking a little. I sat down by the window and slowly opened it. His words were clear and kind. He wrote that he was in another city. He was working and thinking about many things. He said he missed me very much. He wrote that our time together was special and very real. He knew the world might not understand our feelings, but they were true for him. He said he would never forget me or our summer. He wanted me to be happy and to live my life. I read the letter many times. First, I felt a wave of happiness. He had not forgotten me. Then sadness came. His words were a goodbye in a way. He was far away and our future was unclear. I felt both warm and cold at the same time. Each word was important. I held the paper close to my chest. That night, I sat by the fireplace. The letter was still in my hand. I knew I could not keep it. Someone might find it. It was our secret, and it had to stay a secret. With a heavy heart, I put the letter into the small flames. The paper burned quickly, turning into ash. The words disappeared, but Marcus's memory stayed deep inside my heart. It was a memory of love, a secret love that would always be a part of me. 7. We meet again. A year passed quickly. Violet received a call that her father was very sick. She decided to go back to the town to help him. When she arrived, everything looked the same. The old houses, the quiet streets, and the green fields were just as she remembered. But Violet felt different. She was not the same person who had left 1 year ago. She had changed a lot. One sunny afternoon, Violet walked to the market to buy some food. She looked at the fresh vegetables and fruits. Suddenly, she saw him. Marcus was standing near his car, talking to an old man. He looked older now and more serious. His green eyes still held a deep look. When their eyes met, the world seemed to stop again, just like it did many times before. Marcus walked towards her. They stood there for a moment, not speaking. Then they started to talk. It felt strange and familiar at the same time. They spoke about their lives during the past year. Marcus told Violet that he had tried to forget her. He had worked hard and met many new people, but he said he could not forget her. Her memory stayed with him every day. Violet told him that she felt the same way. She had also tried to move on and forget the summer, but her feelings for Marcus were still strong. They talked for a long time, sharing their thoughts and feelings honestly. They both understood something important now. Love was not always about being together. Sometimes it was about understanding when to let go. Their love was special, but it could not be a normal love that they could live every day. They could not be together in the way they wanted. That night, Marcus walked Violet home. They walked slowly, side by side, under the soft moonlight. They did not touch each other. They did not make any new promises. There were no more words of sadness or longing. They just looked at each other with a quiet understanding. They smiled a small, gentle smile. They both knew that their story would always stay a secret between them. It was a part of their hearts that no one else would ever know. This goodbye was different from their last one by the river. It was not full of tears or broken promises. It was a quiet acceptance. They had met again, spoken the truth, and found a way to say goodbye for good. Violet watched Marcus walk away, knowing this was the end of one important part of her life. The summer memories were still bright, but now a new feeling of peace was also there. 8. A memory of love. Many years passed after Violet left the small town. She moved to a different city, far away from the countryside house and all its memories. She started a new job and worked hard to build a quiet life for herself. Her days were calm and peaceful. She made new friends and found joy in simple things. However, one part of her life remained unchanged. She never married. Her heart knew a special love once, and no other love felt quite the same after that. Often, when the sun began to set, Violet would find herself thinking about that unforgettable summer. Her mind would travel back to the green hills and the flowing river. She remembered the sound of the rain hitting the guest house roof and the quiet talks she shared with Marcus in the dark. She could almost feel the warm air of those long days and the secret looks they exchanged. Marcus was always there in her thoughts, a soft whisper from the past. She remembered his deep green eyes and the way he smiled only for her. These memories were precious, like old photographs kept safe in a box. Through the years, Violet learned an important lesson about love. She understood that not all love stories are meant to be lived out every day. Some loves are not about being together forever in the usual way. Instead, they are meant to be remembered. They stay in your heart, teaching you about deep feelings and changing who you are. This kind of love, she realized, was just as real and powerful as any other. It shaped her, made her stronger, and showed her a different kind of happiness. Sometimes her friends would ask her why she had never found a husband. Violet would simply smile, a small and knowing smile. She would say, "Because once I loved someone very much, but we could not be together." She did not need to say more. The truth was in her eyes, in the quiet strength she carried. That love, the one she shared with her cousin, Marcus, had changed her life forever. It was a memory of love that continued to live within her, a beautiful and lasting part of her story.